Hello friends and welcome back to the channel, and no, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. This is an actual honest-to-goodness Alliance War video. I'm doing AW this season for several reasons. One of them is that I wanted to get some current AW gameplay up on the channel, so here we are. Now this is war number 4, but it's the first one that actually counts for this season. Today we're taking on Riot, whose leader is named Drunk Lefty, which I found very amusing. Okay, my team for today is going to be Anti-Venom, Scorpion, and Omega Sentinel. You can see I almost forgot to set my attacker tactic here. That would have been awesome. So I am assigned to Path 1 for the time being. I will probably take at least one of the shared fights every war, but like mini-boss, boss action, probably going to be less common. But we'll see what happens. So let's go. First up, we have a Diablo on Node 4. He's a Conduit Defender. So I'm going to activate a boost from my inventory. I think this boost has probably been sitting in my inventory for like close to a year. And then we'll do some other small boosts. Then we're going to activate the heal block pre-fight for Omega Sentinel. That's going to be very important on this path. It's a lot of regen, a lot of heal block required. Otherwise, you trigger other effects like Fury on this node or unblockable later on. This fight, you know, there's really nothing going on here. This is about as easy as it gets. Just a diversity defender. Nothing special going on here. As long as you keep the heal block either paused or reapply it with another medium ending combo with Omega. She has this fight on lockdown the entire way through. Just going to activate one more, so we got 3 debuffs, pop that special 2, lots of incinerates there, and we're getting some nice damage over time. And from here, it's pretty much just waiting him out. And down he goes, easy peasy. Not bad for a first fight. Okay, next up we have a Magneto on Node 13, also a Conduit Defender, also going to be using Omega Sentinel, again with the heal block. So at the start of the fight here, we're going to re-parry to trigger Masochism and then immediately apply the heal block while it's on cooldown. And just like the previous fight, this is now pretty much on lockdown. We can either keep refreshing the existing heal block or apply a second one. And as long as we don't forget about Masochism, we'll be fine here. I think I do have a parry fail here, and then my auto block fails because they're right there. Because, you know, despite being immune to AR against mutants, he will still counter her auto block. So when I miss a parry and he hits right through it, I don't have that safety net there. So I applied a few nice plasma debuffs there, and I pushed him to special 2. You guys know I'm terrible at dodging Magneto special 2, so I'm trying to get, there we go. I get a nice dex there, successfully dexing a special that I traditionally have a hard time with. And again, like, you know, keeping those initial heal blocks refreshed. No need to worry about Masochism really once we have them applied, because we don't need to reapply them. And down he goes, easy peasy. Okay, this next fight is a tricky one. This is a Max Sig rank 3 Angela on Node 20, and the tricky part of this fight is Spaced Armor, which gives her Nullify immunity, which she basically already has with enough buffs. But more importantly, you guys can see it's hitting me with the special lock whenever I hit into her with an armor at buff. So that's going to be tough to get specials off. Beyond that, with the Masochism over time node here, the goal at the start of the fight is to get the Clintar debuff applied, and you can only do that when Masochism is on cooldown. And until you get that Clintar debuff applied with Anti-Venom, he's not going to be able to place any other of his debuffs, and thus not going to be able to utilize the attack tactic to heal block her. So there we go, we get the Clintar debuff applied. Now we can start tossing them special 1s to activate the accelerated mutation. And then 3 more hits here, we should have 2 debuffs applied. There we go. So now we have a heal block set up for the remainder of the fight. So at this point, the danger is that without access to my special attacks, because of the Spaced Armor node, she's going to continuously special lock me, which is going to ramp up her passive furies. You can see how quickly she's gaining these passive furies. And I think by the end of the fight, she has like over 50, I want to say. So an extremely dangerous fight if you get hit. The good news is that she's placing the armor breaks on me, of course, so I am getting a lot of willpower healing. And, you know, if I get hit, I'm going to die probably in 1 hit. Anti-Venom can take a lot of block damage because, of course, he's going to heal it up. My Anti-Venom is Max Sig. And I think for fights like this, I'm probably gonna seriously consider taking him up to rank 4. He's been extremely valuable on this node in particular, both in this war and the previous 3, which didn't really count for the season. So we're just kind of launching our specials when we can. Special 3 here. We're not going to be able to refresh that thing with another special 1 because we're already back at a special 3. So yeah, you can see the Fury buffs, or Fury passes rather, ramping up quite quickly here. But we are keeping ourselves topped up quite nicely via the willpower, as I mentioned before. And there you go, I took 3 hits into my block and it was 25% of my health. Luckily, of course, I'm going to heal up most of that pretty quickly. But yeah, extremely dangerous. You know, Angela, not a very difficult defender, so at this point in the fight, I'm really just looking out for, you know, trying to be extra cautious with like input issues, not taking any chances with things like, you know, risky intercepts or anything. And my biggest concern here is probably accidentally getting parried, so I'm being very, very cautious here. So this is an extra long fight too, but you know, Anti-Venom, very reliable for something like this. His regen is just so good in fights where he can't be, you know, crit through his block. Yeah, not much else to say about this. You know, once, you know, again, since Anti-Venom has the attacker tactic, once he gets his debuffs applied, the defender is locked down pretty much for the rest of the fight, unless they have a way of removing them. So a few more hits here, and this Angela is going to go down. There you go. She's got 58 Furies at the end of the fight, but we still finished with over 90% health. There we go. All right, next up we have this Man-Thing on the EMP mod mini here. This is why I brought Scorpion. Nobody else on my group here had a counter to this fight, so I actually took Scorpion up to rank 3 just for this fight. We activated the Rupture pre-fight, as you saw. That will give him immunity to both shock from the EMP mod node and the poisons from Man-Thing. Because of like Burden of Might, we're not going to be able to really do like a typical Scorpion rotation here. I'm not sure I even drop like any special attacks whatsoever, because his sting debuffs are still putting in work whenever Man-Thing is throwing a special attack, and then of course we're keeping healed up all the way via his armor breaks. I think I finished this fight with a full yellow bar. We don't have to worry about Aspect of Evolution at all because he goes down pretty quickly here, especially with class advantage. Just keep an extra eye out on Bubble Shield, because he'll have that guaranteed unblockable when it hits 10 charges here. And yeah, just kind of, you know, this is a pretty simple fight with Scorpion. Once you handle the immunities to shock and poison, it's basically just, you know, a parry 5-hit repeat kind of fight. Don't get hit by a special, and then you'll be fine. And I think one more special with these sting debuffs, I think, kills him, and maybe there we go. Just drops over. that was a super fun fight though. All right, moving up to the top here, we've got Node 30. This is a 5-star Toad. So since he's duped, of course, we need to have a champion who is not immune to poison, otherwise he will punish that. So Omega Sentinel, the easy choice here. We won't have, you know, the debuff, the poison debuffs are not a problem at all here. Once we get to a special 2, he is going to absolutely melt, because we're going to be placing extra plasma because of the prowess passes that he has. So got him heal blocked, of course, to avoid him going completely unblockable. Here we go. And special 2, and that drops 8 plasmas, and there we go. That's 8k damage per second, and he melts in like 2 seconds later. Alright, my last fight, I really went back and forth on what to do for this one. I wanted to bring APOC, but we needed Scorpion, so I had to kind of manage with my team as is. I considered going in with Anti-Venom, but I figured that it was going to be too difficult to kind of get the cycle going with Buffet. So the trick here is I want to dump King Groot's Furies with Omega Sentinel by just parrying and let him backing off. Now, once he has the regen up, I can, of course, take a combo to the face. That's all planned. But once he has the regen up, I can heal block him then. And since Omega Sentinel is immune to Nullify, I don't have to worry about Buffet at all. So at this point, the fight is completely locked down as long as he agrees to throw his special, which he didn't. So you see the heal block fell off. Now he throws the special one, and now I have to wait for the Furies to end again before I can get a heal block permanently applied. There we go. So didn't really cost us too much there, and I definitely want to try and get the special 2 off before his regen ends so that he won't shrug off the Incinerates. We barely get it in, only like a couple seconds more there. There we go. Got some Incinerates on him. Got to keep refreshing that heal block there with light ending combos. No real need, again, to apply a second one. I think I might apply a second one when we get up to the next special 2, but you know, once you have King Groot heal blocked, he's really not a problem at all. Just got to worry, don't take a special 2 because it's going to do a crap ton of damage. And yeah, this is ended up being a much easier fight. I tend to overthink things like this, so you know, my initial gut was to use Omega Sentinel, and I was like, well, should I get APOC to get my debuffs to stick or what? But you know, this worked out just fine, and down he goes. All right, that's the last fight that I had this war. We did end up getting the victory, 6 kills for me, 0 deaths, and our official record for this season is 1-0. We did win the first 3 non-official wars of the season, but they only really counted for war rating, or I'm sorry, for war rating, not for season rating. So yeah, you can expect some more of these this season. If you like this, please let me know. Worked hard on the thumbnail. If you guys like the thumbnail, please let me know in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.